Oh, no chocolates today, Mr. Woods?
No, Ruby. This is all I need. Papa always told me, life is like a box of lollipops. All the flavor and fiber you'll ever need to get far in life. And boy, was he right. I never really had an end goal. Never had a reason to stop either. All I knew was I could run forever with one. Until I ran out.
And then what?
I went home.
Oh.
Konbanwa.
Konbanwa.
Welcome to CITIUS Mag live from the 2025 World Championships. Chris Chavez here with Eric Jenkins and Mitch Dyer, and we are ready to unpack all the action that just took place on day 5 of the World Championships. Shout out to our presenting sponsor, ASICS, for supporting all of our coverage of these World Championships. They're going above and beyond to have us field a full team, to be able to provide this wall-to-wall action. We're at every single session. We are there from start to finish, where our social team is in the stands getting kicked out up until the last second because they've got their laptops out just sitting out there. But
Do they get tossed?
it's like sort of like you have to go, and they're like, oh yeah, it's finally time. It's been an hour after the last race has ended, but ASICS has supported us in getting our full team out here. Johnny Zhang got a massage. I booked a massage for tomorrow at the ASICS house, so taking care of our bodies. We just all got fresh new pairs of the Mega Blast. Eric, have you gotten a chance to run in these? You've been running the Super Blast, but these are the Mega Blast. Look at these things.
I guess I've been a bit confused. Okay, so I've been running in something Blast.
Super Blast, yeah.
Super Blast. And these are the
Mega
Blast,
Blast.
of course. Yeah. Well, of course.
Well, we got a group run in a day. 2 days from now. Yeah.
2 days, yeah. I've been tapering for the group run. These look nice.
The 1500-meter world champion trains in these things, because we'll get to who ended up being the gold medalist.
No, you won't be at you'll be there.
The media 800 or the group run?
The group run, no. Yeah, no. I'm like, Chris, let's go one event at a time. I'm not yet talking about the media 800. But yes, as everybody knows, you've got a bum knee, and you're healing up.
On the mend.
That's why you've got a massage.
Yeah.
I didn't know that
a massage is going to heal me. I
just didn't know massage was an option.
Yeah. No, if you go to ASIC's house and you're on the list, which we are, you can book a massage. Well, they ask you, are you running? And I take that to mean as in competing at the meet.
Safe to say yes.
And we are running, but we also were given the green light that it's yeah, you guys are working hard and deserve some massages.
So you said, so they asked, are you running? You said yes.
Yeah.
What they think about the knee brace?
Yeah. So, yeah, I said yes. Technically, I'm entered in the media 800, but I will not be running. Yeah.
They don't know yet that you're DNS in the media 800. When is that?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Heat sheets are out.
Christ.
We'll unpack that at the very end.
Yeah, let's say that for the end.
Yeah. All right. So let us dive right into the men's 1500, which has been the event that we've been looking forward to for a very, very long time. I woke up this morning. First thing I did was I fired off a tweet saying, "Happy men's 1500 meter final day to all who celebrate." And in the stands, we're chatting. We're like,
super divisive tweet.
I did get one person who was like, "I only celebrate the women's 1500."
Yeah, totally.
But anyway, it's been on our mind the whole entire time, all throughout the afternoon at lunch, asking who's your top three. I check back in when we're in the stands. And then when it's time for the race to finally go off, I guess we were not expecting a 3:27 race like last year. If anything, over the past couple of days, it's told us this is going to be a tactical affair.
Yeah.
And it sure was. Niels Laros goes to the front. Nothing extravagant in terms of just the pace to really burn the wheels out of anybody. Everyone was in contention except for Josh Kerr, who, with 600 meters to go, suffers a calf strain or pull, something. And Mac Fleet, who was sitting in the stands with us, knew immediately. He has suffered many a calf pulls and strains in the last couple years. So super unfortunate in that sense, because he's one of the favorites for this race. And then Laros up in the front is commanding things. Timothy Chariot right on his heels, which Eric very astutely pointed out was well, there might be some team tactics happening here. They're training partners. So yes. But again, the pace was not fast enough to eliminate everybody. And so at the bell, you just have everyone is still, except for Josh Kerr, is still in contention. Jake Whiteman in great position all throughout, and he ends up being the one to really make the move. And I'm in the stands saying this is 2022 all over again, because the move came a little bit earlier than when he pulled it on Jakob, but it started to feel like that might have been a little bit too early, especially when you have guys who are closing in 12.5 seconds for the final 100 meters. So the final 100 ends up being where the medals are decided. And so what ends up happening in that final stretch is a shock to all of us. Isaac Nader of Portugal ends up winning, gets Jake Whiteman with 5 meters left in the race.
On
He's
the
basically at the
line.
line.
Got back to the line.
Yeah, right on the line.
So Jake ends up finishing second. Reynold Chariot third. Reynold Chariot, again, one of those guys who has insane closing speed. Timothy Chariot fourth. Niels Laros fifth. And then from there, it was just a crapshoot. But Isaac Nader was plus 6,000 to win this race. Not too many people saw this one coming.
Certainly in Vegas.
anyone, yeah.
Vegas did not. And the whole entire time, like I'm saying, we're all in the stands in shock after the race.
Nader is a guy that's always making these finals. He's always in the mix as far as being there, but he's never the guy.
The only time the season was Oslo Diamond League, where he won the Dream Mile. And then when I brought this up to Mac in our preview episode, we were going over just sort of the case for and the case against a lot of these top contenders. I brought up Isaac Nader, and it was very dismissive. But like the only reason I brought him up is because I was like, yeah, but that Dream Mile earlier on in the season. But frankly, like so many people would have had the same feelings as Mac.
Yeah, I don't have a camera on me right here, but yeah, no, it was just I think it was the time that he had run, and also just like the lack of showing up in that contention sort of range over the last few years. But like to Eric's point, he has been making finals here, and I think in a situation like this, like the conditions that are here, it brings everyone into play. It's slow. We're not running 327 here. It's just not, it's physically just not possible. So there's some weird stuff happening here. There's some weird like anatomical, biological, like it's just, it's different here.
Track's cursed, obviously.
But like it brings people like him into play and allowed him to show up, and you know what? It's the same for everybody here.
Yeah,
like it is anywhere else. And he showed up today and he ran the race that was late. He's a world champion.
Yeah, and I mean he had to go pretty wide and reach pretty deep in the bag to get there too, because while everyone was hugging the rail and Whiteman had the benefit of running the shortest distance, like he just tactically ran it so his whole rounds in the final, he just looked like the smartest guy in the field in terms of the way that he picked things apart and put himself in the right spots. And I thought it was enough. I actually thought that he'd made a smart move up the back straight to try and clear some space from the carnage that was going to ensue behind. But you have to hand it to a guy that roams out to lane 3 or 4 just to get a clean shot down the home straight. And yeah, on the line, like 0.02, I think from memory, was the difference between gold and silver. Like literally nailed him, pinged him on the line. And it's a great reward for effort, because we're seeing it honestly a fair bit at these championships. People that have been thereabouts, but not quite, like always the bridesmaid, never the bride, and now having their day. Yeah. And hats off to him, because it's been a phenomenal run from him.
It's why like this event is so fun, right? Because you're looking at this podium right now, and you would never, like I would have bet my life that Kerr or Laros would be on that podium somewhere. And to see Nader, first off, Whiteman has looked great this whole championship series. And especially for a guy that didn't win the British champs. He's had an up and down season, been injured for a lot of it. But it's a guy that knows championship racing. And so that experience pays off. But it's like this event is so hit or miss with a lot of these type of things. And to see Josh Kerr, you just don't really see a guy get injured like that.
Yeah.
Mid race.
I thought he must have been stepped on, or his shoe had come off, or something. Just from the far out in the crowd, I thought that's what had happened.
That was, I think, everyone's first impression. But the replay was just him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, strained his calf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, usually a calf strain doesn't creep up on you like that.
Yeah, he must have been laboring on tightness for a while.
But man, what a race!
Yeah, no, this isn't.
What a race!
This is a good one. Just a quick fact check that came to us from the YouTube chat, and I guess like Eric, I'm not going to check you every single time, but when you said that Isaac Nader has made so many finals, actually this is the first global championship final.
You're like, I'm not going to check you every time, but like you are so wrong on this front one.
In this case, but I can see where your confusion comes from, where he's made so many of these like European team championship, European junior championships, European.
How many majors has he been to? What number world champ? What number?
I'm looking at that right now. So 2022 World Championships, 1500 just in the heats. 2023 World Championships makes the. No, I guess you're right. He makes the final and he finishes 12th. So that was one.
Big,
and then today,
really big for me.
World Championships finishes second. So this is the second World
been
final.
in an Olympic final, maybe.
No, Olympics. He made it just to the semis and was bounced out.
Point is, he's been around a lot.
Thank you, Mitch.
Yeah, he has been around a lot.
Yeah. Indoor, he has made finals 2022, 2024, 2025.
Oh, so he's been, okay. So
Eric's,
second final.
Eric's not wrong.
Yeah.
And then Chris, what
you'll get
yeah. And
fired.
You're still good.
No, you're good.
I know. I know.
What you said on the men's 15, it's like 6 different guys have won over the last 6 years.
That's an incredible
Right.
statistic.
So going into this, like, we're like, oh yeah, someone's gonna win again. But like, here we are again. It's a new guy. It is just it's impossible to just win the global championship twice now in the men's 15.
And what are 3 world champs we've had in the men's 1500? You date back to, again, that Jake Whiteman kick over the top of Jakob. It was like, wow, I could not have seen that happen. And then the smack talk between Kerr and Ingebrigtsen, it kind of blossoms from this. It's like, oh my God, he's the world champion. And then Nader now is the world champion, and I don't know whether this guy talks a lot of smack. I can't imagine that there's going to be a lot of that coming out of him. But to your point, Mac, it's like, good luck ever predicting a final. Really, from here on out, the history would suggest and stack up now in recency that it's near impossible. But it was just I found it to be a kind of a strange race. I don't think I predicted anything outside of the time correctly. I thought it would be, and maybe because he had been laboring over the calf, I thought it'd be Kerr that got to the front and ran at the tempo that Laros did, and Laros would be maybe a little bit further back than leading a global championship final. It just surprised me to see him up there immediately, and then Timmy with the squeeze and came around and started to push the tempo, and you could see it from there. But it was I was surprised at the way that some of these guys ran tactically.
Okay.
Well, I was just thinking about like Laros has had this world-class kick for every single race he's been in, no matter the pace. The guy can close at an insane speed, and today he just didn't have it. And you're seeing that conditions are hot. It's tough to have that pop at this championships for some reason, but everybody, and myself included, I'm like, Laros is going to end up on that podium somehow. And to see him off of it, obviously Kerr with the injury, it's a bit of a different situation, but to see neither of those guys on the podium, and super happy for Jake. Jake's a super great guy, and he's been love to see him back on the top after like being injured and having to sit out for championships and not being able to compete, to have him come back, and he barely lost it, right? Like Nader had to really pull something special out of him and just to barely get him at the line. So I'm very happy for Jake, but man, it's this is why this event is one of the most fun of the entire meet.
We haven't even gotten a chance to rewatch it. Like we bolted out of the stadium, got on the trains, and then came right here to yap about it. Good question dropped in the YouTube chat that I'm curious to hear what you would think about it. The athletes have seen how all the other mid distance races have been going. Why didn't they try a different strategy? We're in the sense of like.
Different strategy in
like
what?
They should have gone hard from the start, or
Well, I guess the only other different strategy off the top of my head would have been the Timmy C move, which we suggested last night, which has been like he should have just pulled it from the beginning, but it just would
I think the only I think the real strategy with these middle distance races, and when I say middle distance races, I mean primarily just the 15, is a squeeze like Kipyegon.
Yeah,
like it is harder, in my opinion, to race against someone like Faith, or like just to be in the race where they're squeezing, as opposed to fast from the start. When it's fast from the start, and you've seen it with lots of races in it recently, is that when it's fast and you get out hard, you can settle a bit and then gather yourself. But when you have somebody who's just gradually picking it up very subtly, lap by lap, or half lap by half lap, it's harder. I think that would have been the move, but the thing is, it's just so tough to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's so tough. You can say that is your best option, but you get to the line, the gun goes off, and then plans go out the window. Right? It's like, okay, it takes a really savvy and confident person to operate in that type of situation and to do that. So it is tough to have a game plan and just to nail it.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
I think if anyone would have done it today, it would have been Josh. But I think
someone's at our door. Just close it.
Sorry.
Carry on.
Yeah, sorry. There might be someone outside of our door. I think if anyone would have done it, it would have been Josh. But I think watching him race, I called out to these guys right when they broke. I was like, oh, Josh went into the rail in the back of the race. Like that's something that I don't think that we've seen him done in like 5 years.
Long time.
Yeah, he usually goes to the front and is in the top 4 and races from the top 4. So I would venture to say that something happened between the semifinal and today for his calf to kind of go.
Yeah.
And the question was what? Like, why didn't they do something differently? Is like you got to look at the field. Like, who in here is a front runner? And the only answer there is like a really healthy, fit Josh, who was clearly hurt,
or a Timmy C,
C from 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And Tim's running better than he has recently than he had like over the last compared to the last 3 years. The last time he front ran and won world champs in 2019. That's 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Like he just doesn't like.
Well, on top of that, he
like,
trains with Niels Laros, and so he knows that like even within his training group, he's not going to just tee it up for his training partner to also win gold. So he's got to look out for himself in that sense and not make his own bed there.
And it's different here. Like the conditions here are crazy. They're hard. They're really, really hard, and it's muggy. Like you can see the humidity we were talking about. You can literally see the humidity across the stadium.
Yeah,
like it's like you have cataracts in there. Like the air is thick. It's hot soup. Yeah. And so like no one's running 327. If you think that like, oh, why didn't someone just go out there and run sub 330? Like it's just not possible. We were watching the guys struggle to run 340 in the prelims.
Yeah.
And so like we watched the semifinals and we're like, oh yeah, these guys were hurting to run 335. It's probably going to be around there. They ran 334.
Yeah, you're a bit of a sacrificial lamb, I think, if you were to try and go hard from the start, because your body just wouldn't handle it. And every athlete that I've spoken to, at least in the mix zone, has had the same thing to say. It's like they can't quite quantify what it is about the conditions or the track that is making it feel slow, but it feels hard. I've heard some of them have said it feels like they're running with concrete in their pockets. They just cannot get their legs to tick over the way that they're used to. So and psychologically, when you're trying to call on your body to do something you know it can do and it won't, even that can be tiring. Like, it's the little things. It might not even be the physical tiredness. It's the mental game of getting tired with that.
Think of these guys, like what splits they've been training for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Right, which is all like 329, 328, 327 stuff, and all of these guys have been training over the last 12 months, looking at that Olympic final, going like, okay, in order to get a medal, I have to run 327.
Yeah.
They've been training to run 327 or 326 all year long, and then they get here and they're trying to your point, they're trying to like reason with like, oh, I'm gonna go out in like 59,
Yeah.
and it might not be easy.
Yeah.
And these guys haven't run a 59 in an aerobic like 6-4-3-2 rep in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Of like a meaningful rep like that.
I'm sure also that there was, going into this meet, they had ideas and plans about what a perfect final would look like, game plan wise. And then you get out in this opening round and you realize what how they feel out there and how the conditions have changed, and then that will for sure dictate how the next race goes, and then if they're lucky enough, how the final will go. So they line up today and they're like, man, these last 2 races, I haven't felt like it's been very tough. And so yeah, the squeeze in an ideal day when you're feeling fantastic, when the pop is there, is how I might want to do this. But I mean, if I feel anything like I felt on these opening rounds, the squeeze isn't going to be there. So now it's like I just have to be tactically in the right place at the right time and just be, hopefully I'm fighting for the medal at when this last 100 comes about.
Yeah. And it felt like, I thought that's maybe what Timmy was doing when he did obviously pick up the tempo. I thought maybe he'd just go like, all right, I'm going to rip the Band-Aid. Yeah. And it's like, jump on board, boys. Let's see who can roll. But clearly, to everyone's point, it's not possible. Like, in these conditions, it just is not something that's possible. So even that move would have fried a lot of legs in that period.
And my last bit, just on my personal bit, same as Eric, shout out to Jake. Like, Nader ran an amazing race. Hey, a little bit of bias, don't have any personal connection to him, but Jake, I do. We, like, early in his career and late in mine, we shared, same agent, and we were on the same tour together. Love that dude, and I'm just so happy to see him back in the medals.
Oh, 100%.
Especially after the dude is injury prone like none other, and he had a coaching change this year, which was definitely tough. Like, you're choosing to, and they're all good, like choosing to leave your dad, who's been coaching you forever, who's calling in the stadium. Yeah. And for you, and for both of you to decide like, hey, we got to do something different. Like, this isn't working. And you're choosing to leave your coach, who is also your father, that you won a world championship gold with, because you figure it's just not working at this point. And then to come out on the other end after dropping out of a few races because of injury or sickness, like the British champs, and he has to get selected onto the team on their subjective, like, top 2 go, and then plus there's a subjective spot. Like, it wasn't like a straightforward path for him to make the final, and also, like, with his history over the last 3 years, not a guarantee for him to be healthy in the final. And to watch him take the lead like he did in 2019 with 200 to go, and to come out with a medal, cool as hell. Love that dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy sort of, it's like he went from barely making it onto the team to now just ending up as a silver medalist. It's such a great story overall, and all the hiccups along the way just within this season itself. I mean, when we saw him at the pre-classic, like, he knew that he was on the edge of something special. It just like hadn't lined up, and so today, it was right there.
Yeah, it was weird because we've talked to him over the last couple of years, Chris, and he almost felt like everyone was like leaving him behind.
Yeah.
Because they're running faster than his PBs, and he's like, well, I won here a couple of years ago, and like no one talks about me anymore. It's like, it's just Jakob, it's just Cole, it's just Josh. He's like,
That's the sport.
Yeah, it's the sport, and what's crazy is
very racing biased.
Guess what?
But I mean, he wasn't even in it.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, he was hurt.
Yeah, he couldn't be in it.
He couldn't have been in it.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you wouldn't be talking about this final and being like, oh man, like who would have done well in the remember
Jake?
Remember Jake?
But
Yeah.
well, that's the other thing in our YouTube chat right now is like Cole Hawker would have won this race.
But I think
Yes, exactly. But we're not talking about him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And next year, and whenever these championship races come up, and they're like, "Man, I feel like they forgot about me," a couple years ago. And say, "Yeah, because you weren't in the final."
Yeah.
But what's
Because-
crazy, Eric, is like
Sure.
as an athlete, and you could speak to this better than I can, is like your mind as an athlete doesn't work that way. Us as fans, it's like, oh yeah, who's running well right
On to the
now?
next one.
But like put yourself in Jake's shoes.
Yes, you're hungry.
You're not thinking like, oh, I just haven't like. You're not thinking like I should be forgotten. You're thinking like earmuffs. Like, fuck these guys. I'm
Yeah.
one of them.
we
too.
got some complaints about your cursing, Mac. But
Wait, recently, I haven't even been on the microphone.
Not even me.
You did. Yeah, I think you did drop an F bomb before. So
Well, I said
Yeah, I
I
like.
gave it fair warning. You know what? That's more than I get. I was like, wait a minute.
It's me.
I was-
oh wait, it might
me
actually
and Mix.
It would have been us.
Yeah.
I would be hot. I would be surprised if it was Mac and if we haven't copped one, because that would be insane. I definitely dropped one the other day. In fact, I saw the clip. I was swearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adults here. This is how adults talk.
Yeah. And
there are
don't
no
come to
12-year-olds
Australia
watching
anytime
this-
soon.
this right now.
Yeah.
So it's put your big boy pants
Yeah.
on. It's okay.
No, to
No, you go.
speak to Mac's point,
Yeah.
it does take an incredible type of personality and mindset to get to battle back from where Jake's been. And you beat Jakob in what was Eugene, right? You beat Jakob in Eugene, world champion, and now ever since then you've been riddled with injuries.
Yeah.
You've had such a hard road back. You've had to, and you're not just leaving your coach, right? Your coach is your dad. Think about that.
Yeah.
Like we've all broken up with a coach. I have never broken up with my dad. Who, it's a tough thing.
Yeah.
And I can't even really put myself in that position. And to come back and he barely lost. Like he didn't really lose.
He didn't
got
lose.
beat.
Yeah. There's a great
He
point.
didn't. He did not lose
that
this race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got.
Yeah.
It took a big effort by Nader to beat him, and so I'm sure that Jake right now is like I was so close
Yeah.
to being a double world champion in the 15, which is a position. First off,
How
people
many?
people
Yeah.
nobody is ever a 1500 meter champion. There's like it's so rare, and then to almost be a double
Yeah.
champion is something truly special that nobody. I mean, was there anybody in maybe it was
Timmy?
Timothy Cherry
Yeah.
hit? He's like I feel you. I feel it. He's like God, you're close, and you broke up with your dad, and blah blah blah. But it's such an amazing like road that Jake has been on, and so it is super exciting to see that. But yeah, like Max said, when you're down and you feel like people aren't talking about you and it's not because that everybody's doubting you, it's just because that this is an event that's so talented and there's so many amazing athletes, and when you're out, it is like a recency bias, like what have you done for me recently?
Yeah.
But this just shows you the type of athlete that Jake is, and that to bounce back and to make it right back up to where he was when he was a world champion, it takes a different kind of athlete. But I mean, Nader, it's like we're talking so much about Jake, we're talking so much about these other guys, but like Nader does seem to come out of nowhere to surprise everybody for the global medal
in big moments, like too, like I think like a lot of people will probably look at this performance like, well, in a similar sense of like, oh, is this one a fluke? Like, no, this honestly like very similar to last year. Like,
it's not a fluke at all.
flukes,
Yeah, you
right?
can't,
Like, it doesn't
you cannot luck your way
it
into a
does not
world
matter
title.
about like flukes with
Yeah.
you can't say if you win a gold medal in any of these events, there's no fluke, right? Like you've won it, and nobody can take that away. And there can be people who will be commenting from the sidelines and can say, "Oh yeah, like he got a bit lucky, or he won that over when he wasn't the favorite."
Cole wasn't there.
Yes,
Jakob wasn't
exactly.
there. Yeah.
But it's like, look, I'm there.
Yeah.
the record book will always have my name there, and it's never a fluke when you get to this level and win. It is a huge upset, and
That's sports.
and that's sports. Exactly right. Like that's just how the game goes, and that's why that's why it's exciting.
Yeah.
If it always came down to the favorites won, and you could switch it up, right? Because it's like, if every single person who even knew the sport were to write down like what's your podium, you're gonna have it's some sort of combination of Laros and Kerr and maybe a guy like White, right?
Yeah, or
Whiteman
Koech,
or
yeah.
Koech or Timothy Chariot, but there would be a very small percentage that would have Nader in there, and that's why this is so exciting, because these races aren't won on paper, and here we are. Nader's a world champion, and a lot of these favorites go home with no hardware, and they're gonna have to stay hungry and show up again the next time they have the opportunity.
I think hungry is the perfect way to describe it, because even if to the point of where we were checking Eric a second ago, Nader's been to so many of these, and maybe he's only in his second final, but the point is that you see so many young guys coming through. I think Laros is going to be a great example of this in time to come, right? This is his second world champs final.
He was sixth last year, fifth this year.
Exactly. He's going to keep climbing. And I think to the point on recency, a lot of the time in the sport, it's like you want them to be good immediately. And if they're not, people are disappointed. It's like, well, speaks to the levels of how difficult this is. And to go back to Jake, like Jake got robbed of the opportunity to be introduced as the world champion through injuries.
That's
like
so true.
He didn't get that beautiful. Well, because he was
2023,
injured, he
he was
didn't race.
out.
Yeah, he
Like,
did not race.
he
So like
never got a
Jake
chance
gets this
to.
grand crescendoed moment, like the highlight of your career. You're the world champ, and you know what? A lot of money attached to that as well to be the world champ, in appearance fees and everybody knowing who you are. And this guy had to hustle, and he had to watch the whole world move on past him. Right? I remember talking to him last year randomly on a train. And they were having a conversation between like, what are you going to do? And he's like, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to find a way to pivot. And then he leaves his coach. Now he comes back, and such a popular guy for that exact reason, that he keeps on grinding. I guarantee you, because we don't know him well enough, I bet Nader has an amazing story of maybe times of wanting to give up and wanting to get rid of it. And if you're a 1,500 meter guy out there, a kid or someone who's raced or whatever, this has to fill you with like just an absolute heart full of optimism that it could take me 4 tries to get there. I could have my day. And you can only beat who's there, to the point of Jakob and, Cole not being there. They didn't make it. Well, you can't control that. You beat who you beat. You're the world champ.
Well, the good news is that Isaac Nader is a A6 athlete, and so
there we go.
We're on the phone already, working to try and get him for an interview. We're super close with Jake Whiteman, and so we'll hopefully get one of those in the coming days as well. But yeah, I feel like we're only scratching the surface on trying to get to know this guy. On YouTube, what you can also do is you can find the race of the European Team Championships that took place earlier this year. Now, as we look at sort of like the progression of what his season looked like, he ran a couple of indoor races, opened up outdoors, and won the Dream Mile. That's like the one race that I remember about this guy earlier this year. We're biased because we're Americans in the sense that we don't pay attention to what the European Team Championships are. Like all I remember is like seeing the highlights. Is like, that's a green track and that's cool. Like it was in Madrid. But what we lost sight of here is that Isaac Nader, and it's on YouTube. You can go check this out. He won that 1500. It's a 3:39 race. Final lap.
There you go. So this guy's just licking his lips.
So I'm getting B for brushing off a 3:39 race.
Yeah. Final race. No, final lap, 52:02. Final 200, 25.4, while also celebrating early, waving at the crowd. It's like this guy had a kick that I think just a lot of people overlooked.
Well, I mean, can I get defensive here?
Yes.
A lot of people can do that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he would have had his hands full in the NCAA.
He would have got worked in the NCAA.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would in that. If you're telling me those splits, yeah, that's.
You're like Gary Martin
has
could have beat
that has
Isaac
like
Nader.
I don't know if Gary Martin has a 52 run at 339. But
Also, Gary Martin would never be celebrating with 200 to go.
But like, I mean, to that point, like that's not necessarily impressive. Doing, I don't know what the conditions were. All that, like, obviously he won, but like running a 339 race, running a 52 last second, like, I sucked.
He
compared
beat
to any of these
Stefan
guys,
Nielsen
and that's
there.
easy.
The splits don't matter. Right? Like in a situation like that where you're like, oh yeah, like he closed
It's
at
the race.
339 and 52 with, it's like we're talking about a guy right now that is the world champion. It's just about winning these races. Of course, like splits are fun in like this certain way.
Yeah.
But they don't like most of the world doesn't care about if you closed 25 point.
Yeah.
It's like, did you win? What type of race have you won? And now Nader is a world champ, and but now it's gonna be like, okay, what's next? You gonna back that up? You gonna do something? You gonna
And I guess what I'm also curious with is like him on the circuit. If he can stay at this level, if these guys, and what sucks is the Diamond Leagues are just paced to run world records every other weekend.
Yeah,
so it's like someone like him that maybe succeeds at these slower races is just going to be a non-factor in these 327, 328 races.
Yeah,
I do.
But it's something I'm not gonna. Yeah, sure. I'll liken it to someone like Matthew Centrowitz,
who
was
say
just,
that,
bad at Diamond Leagues because they were just paced too quickly for him.
Yeah,
but was very good at
race
style races.
Exactly. It's like who cares about the Diamond League races when you've got like the global hardware that a dude like Sandro has? But I do think Josh not going down, but he pulls up from this race. I do think that a lot of these competitors probably thought that Josh was somebody to key off of. Like Josh,
and from the beginning, he was in the back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Josh said, Jakob's not in the race. I'll do the Jakob off the line and go right to the back. And then he got off too slow in his calf. He strained his calf. Right, not enough blood flow in his calf because they held them at the line probably for an hour and 15 minutes.
I finally got a chance to because I've been in
yes,
the
no.
mix
Now
of
that you've been in the
Tribune.
stands and you see what we're talking about,
My God,
they're not afraid to
people
hold
for a
these
long
guys.
time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So he had no blood flow in the calf. They got off the line. He was right to the back, and they strained his calf. So yeah. Now you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I just think that Josh usually in this type of setting, right, where Jakob, this is like the first global 15 in a very long time where Jakob's not in it. He is the guy that usually goes to the front, dictates how the race goes, if it's fast, if it's slow. And now that he's out of it, I would have thought, and I'm sure a lot of these guys thought, okay, Josh is the guy that he might not make it a fast race, but he will be in the front.
Yes.
And he's not going to make it a Jakob style fast race, but he will be kind of choosing how it's run. And a lot of people key off that because you got Laros, who's the kicker. So he's not going to be pushing it, but he's going to be kicking and dictating his race off Josh. As soon as Josh goes down, people are like, well,
Yeah.
Where do we go?
Where do we go? Like who is going to be the one to step up? And all of a sudden, like Laros found himself in the front, and that is a pretty foreign thing for him. And so then you got Timmy C, who goes, I'll help you out, bud.
He's always the
I
bridge.
can tell you're feeling lonely up there and awkward. I'll help you out. So I just think that Josh, without Kerr in the race, it did change how people were, the mindset of the competition.
Is it just like not funny? It is to me, at least, that like this sort of stuff transcends all level of sports. Like you could go to your dual meet in high school against like a bunch of kids that are running like 4:40 5-minute miles, and it's like they'll key off of the fastest person no matter what. The same thing happens at this level.
Yeah,
like there's athletes that, like Josh in this final, without a Jakob, without a Cole, that the rest of the field they're going, they're gonna I'm gonna defer to them because I know what they're likely to do, and you're gauging your race off of what you think that someone else is gonna do. That happens at this level with everybody.
Yeah.
And so as soon as, like, to Eric's point, as soon as someone like Josh, who was the big dog in this race,
Veteran.
is a
Yeah.
non-factor, you're immediately going, oh shit, like what's plan B, what's plan C, and then
Yeah.
you're actively trying to gauge off of what's happening in real time instead of like, oh my gosh, what were my plans?
Yeah. I you know what? I reckon someone who wasn't keying off Josh would have been Jake. Right. I think he would have been a guy that was very.
He's been there.
Exactly. He would have
Yeah.
been very unconcerned with the movements of Josh Kerr. And to the point, he just sat on that shoulder for so long, Jake. And he would have just been so happy and content with whoever it was out in front. He didn't care. He always. I would imagine he always had 250. I'm out of here. I don't care who shot Timmy's shoulder, Josh's shoulder, Laris's shoulder, whoever it is that's leading. I'm out of here. I'm just thinking on the fly, like this kind of victory for Nader is giving me real shades of Jimmy Gressier a couple of days ago in terms of when you talk about time moving forward. Are you going to worry about this guy when the races get fast? You know, is he a world beater? All that sort of stuff. And I'm going to just double down on my point is what you guys have already said about diamond leagues and all this sort of shit. It's all it is all fugazi at the end of the day. Running fast, it is. It's all great on paper, and it's like you're faster than him. That's great. That's great. Every single guy who is faster than Nader or Jimmy Gressier would trade every single time to be the world champ.
Let's think about
everything you would trade to be a world beater. Then world beaters.
Think about like I'm keying off of what you're saying. The winners of this championship. Nader, Jimmy Gressier, George Beamish.
Yeah.
It's just upset after upset after upset in these distance races, and it can't just be random.
So
No.
that begs the question: is like we're halfway through this World Championships. Like there's still time for the plot to really change in the second half. Although like things are trending across the board in the same direction. With the World Championship shifting to the end of the season, in many cases it will be in September. Like, is this the new norm that is going to force people to change how they structure their season? Where it's like, all right, maybe like I started off a little bit later, but in addition to that, like how these World Championships are going to be remembered, like this could be the beginning of like, all right, that was our sign for all these heavy favorites to start to change how they approach the season. Or like, are we going to remember this as like the World Championship of upsets?
I'm going to only play one slight devil's advocate, and that the women's side of things has gone the way that we expected it to go.
But part of that is just because like some of those athletes are just the generational talents, like Faith Chirodich and Winfred Yavi. Like it could have gone either way. Like those were two very expected contenders. Like Faith Kipyegon it was a very expected winner.
Yeah, but I would argue
if
that
Keely Hodgkinson loses, then sure, maybe.
I would argue that I forget how to say his name. The steepler, the Moroccan steepler. That is
El Bakkali.
El Bakkali is like arguably one of the greatest steeplechasers of all time, right? So that's someone that you predicted was going to get it in the 1500. To everyone's point, there is no way in hell at the start of the 1500 meter rounds you're like, oh yeah, Jake Whiteman, Nader, and Chariot, of course. Like I know Cole Hocker and Jakob are in the field.
You would have been like,
yeah, these guys will
wait, which Chariot?
Yeah, like Cole Hocker is the Olympic champion and tactically one of the smartest guys in the world. Now, no one knew what Jakob Ingebrigtsen was going to bring. That's a generational talent, but obviously he's been injured, so I suppose that one goes to the wayside. My point being that
Like, who's Nader?
Yeah, the man
What is Nader?
The guy who ran for the Green Party for the president?
Like Ralph Nader?
Yeah.
Jeez, this guy's talented.
How
many careers does this guy have?
Will go down as upsets, but the women continually.
Yeah, it's a little bit more
predictable. Tonight in the steeples, another example, but they've clocked it. All the goats of their events, they've clocked it somehow, and they've managed to dominate.
But yeah, it's just. But I think like they're just so far. The people at the top end of that are just like so far ahead of everyone else.
But El Bakkali was like, if you were to put odds on him, it'd be $1.01 that El Bakkali would win that.
Yeah,
3,000
but so like, but Chris's question is that like, are these guys or like are athletes going to take into account the timing of the year, and
Beijing in 2027 is going to be in September.
So it's going to be around the same time.
Yeah.
Then yes, Absolutely. There will be coach. Not only will the athlete, yes, the athletes will be taking into account how they're feeling this year, how much they've raced. Grants, like we've seen a lot. People, and not only have we seen a lot, but people have been talking a lot about how great the people who have run the Grand Slam and raced Grand Slam
That was
said
going to get
they're
people ready.
feeling that. Yes, they thought it'd be getting ready, but a lot of people feel like the Grand Slam took a lot out of them,
For sure.
and that they're because it is tiring. And so, yes, every athlete is very calculated, and they will be taking into account how they're feeling, and they will make the adjustments for next year. But not only they will, the coaches will be.
Yeah.
And so, guys, if they raced well, they'll be trying to emulate how they did that, and if it's something that they can reproduce next year, and the others will be making adjustments. But 100%.
When's the ultimate next year? Is that
It's in
September?
September 11th to 13th in Budapest.
That'll be hot.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, people
Good
are
point,
gonna
Eric.
have to adapt and change to this new model. I mean, and now I guess like in the coming days we'll find out like where 2029 and 2031 will be held. Like Kenya, London, like all these places are up for the running, and like
It'll be hot in Kenya.
and at altitude.
It'll be high.
Yeah.
I'm like Timothy Cherry. It's like,
I can hold on.
yeah,
I got a couple more years in me.
yeah. He's like,
2029. What's Timmy C gonna be at that point?
What's Timmy now?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we'll see, and it's another question I guess we'll ask at the very end of these World Championships is how do we think that these 10 days in Tokyo are going to be remembered like going forward? So because right now everyone's looking at this like this is a weird World Championships filled with upsets, but it comes as a consequence of so many different things.
yeah, it does.
That's misfortune.
Our mics did not pick that up.
Sorry. No, it does.
We broke because Mac chose to go to the bathroom in the middle of this, did not close the door. We heard sounds that should not be coming from a person's body.
dude. Holy shit. That was so good.
This is where people are like, oh, look at CITIUS. They're laughing at fart jokes. Yeah.
It wasn't even a fart joke. It was a fart so spectacular. I'm sure the mic caught it.
Had to have.
Oh my god, so nuts. That fucking fart, man. It was crazy.
Anyway.
Oh my god, I'm like, Chris is like, we're trying to like so serious, like, man, they're getting, and then like Mac, like from like, be like, we're like, I'm like, like, yeah.
It broke my focus.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm like, yeah. No,
We're not made for TV, but like
Mitch looked to the other room like, holy shit. Holy
It was
holy
a lot.
crap. Yeah. Mitch off camera, Mitch is looking, he goes, you check on him? You check on He's like, I'll go out.
anyway.
Help him out.
Mac is back and
So
he's okay.
Fucking good.
He's been relieved of what's been stressing him for a bit.
All right. First
Anyway.
off, amazing. We covered the men's 15 for an hour. All right.
It's an hour of the men's 15.
All right.
What did you expect?
Yeah.
All right, women's steeple.
Let's
Women's
move
steeple.
on over to the women's steeplechase final, the other distance final on the track today. And as I kind of mentioned before, Faith Schrodich, Winford Yabi, that's what was going to be the duel. Ended up happening. Faith Schrodich breaks Winford Yabi on the final water barrier. A decisive move. Schrodich wins in 8:51, a championship record. That's kind of like the time that I expected coming into this because those two
You
are so
thought
fast.
851?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah, no, because Diamond League final has been fast. So many of these Diamond League like races where they've gone up head to head against each other, like they've been quick, and so something in that range is what I expected. I guess like the only surprise for me was Sembo Alamweu from Ethiopia. notching a PB of 8:58 for third place. I honestly thought that it would be who did I have in third? No, it was not Lemon Goal. It would be Parith Chamutai, but I'm not even seeing her in the results because I think she was the one who went down hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Parith Chamutai with a very scary hard fall. And so
Where did she fall? Like,
Was it the water?
no, it was after one of the barriers on the backstretch.
she had to go after a barrier.
Yeah.
It's like the amount of falls. There
That
were some
knocked
tough.
people out. Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking about was
Lamesha
it-
Gurma.
Garma. It was last year, right?
Mhm.
I mean, geez, the steeples the most dangerous event in. It's like a CTE type of football race.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was thinking about Gurma last year, and
That was a scary.
that was really scary.
that was
I mean, he was
scary.
actually knocked out cold
He was-
on the track.
He
right?
was gone.
He was gone.
Yeah, he was gone, so.
The steeple is just. I mean, when are you going to see that type of? You're not going to see that on another event in the track.
No.
No.
Yeah. So in general, this one kind of to me went as expected, where it was like the Faith Rodich Winford Yavis like just broke away. It was the whole lead pack aside from Gessa Kraus were East African or like born in East Africa before running for other countries. And then the second half you had Gessa Kraus leading. Leah Meyer was up there in the front for a little bit. The pack of Americans stayed strong all throughout, running together. Top American on the day, Angelina Napoleon from NC State, who will be going back to the States and running cross country this season.
I would say she's missing cross country camp right now.
Yeah.
Which is wild to think about because she started her year. I believe she's a sophomore. We were talking
Now I
to
think
her,
rising junior probably.
but we were talking to her, Chris, like just a couple of years ago
New Balance
at
Nationals.
New Balance Nationals, and she was like, "Yeah, I kind of like the 400 hurdles or the steeple. I could also do the 200 or the 2 mile. Like
Yeah.
she was just like an all around
What a
athlete,
mix.
and she's just had
Yeah.
she's just had a wild year, and
Yeah,
she's
I'm
just
leaving.
gotten better and better and better every single time out, and for her to come out as the top American, in an event that the U.S. is generally pretty strong in, is just like crazy promising for her future, along with some of the other Americans. Their first national team, they all made the final, and yeah, like I guess like the big, I don't, it's not a question, but like this is one of those events where the top grouping is just so far ahead of everybody else, and it's not just the Americans. Like we're looking at people that have over 3,000 meters, have like a 20-second plus like personal best better than most of the rest of the world. So yeah, like Chris was saying, like, yeah, this is kind of how he thought it was going to go. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, because over 3,000 meters, a 20-second difference is just, it's a different event.
Yeah, the top American was 26 seconds back of the win, a little less than that, from the medals. Like it's one of those events where right now, like we're in the developmental phase, I think, but we have seen them go faster than they did today. Again, tough conditions.
Yeah.
I leave these world championships a fan of Angelina Napoleon because of just like the potential that's ahead.
Yeah, I would say
There's waves, right? Like, there's-
or even like I think the Americans, like it's their first national team, like the crazy conditions. It is for crazy conditions for every single athlete on the start line here. But yeah, like as we make the push towards LA, I think that like the women's steeple team is going to be like just crazy competition making it. Sorry, Eric.
Oh no, I'm just thinking about like when you would have Courtney Frericks and Emma Coburn.
Yeah, we were spoiled.
So it's like it's just waves, right? And this is an event that's unbelievably talented. 851 championship record. It's going to be very tough for a USA squad that they're all very new to the scene to compete with the fastest in history on a championship scene. It's just it's very hard. But you wouldn't say that this group of athletes wouldn't be much higher towards the top in a few years to come. It's takes time, right? You're not going to hit a home run your first at bat. So the steeple, the women's steeple, actually way more than the men's steeple, is just fast. And it like the men's steeple isn't I wouldn't say, it's not even usually fast. The women's steeple is always fast. And so
you have I mean, just with the odds of looking at this field, there's someone here who's going to be like, all right, today we're going to run under 9 minutes. It's just a matter of like how far under 9 minutes. And it's like, all right, we could bring one or two other people with me. And so,
I mean, like,
America's not
watching
there
this
yet.
race, there was a gap.
Immediately.
Huge gap. Like there, like right away, there was, here is a record-setting pace, and then here is like, look up. We're not keeping up with that pace. So the Americans worked together and ran the race.
Yeah,
and the international scene is a learning experience.
Yeah,
it's so much different than racing against other Americans. It's just so good. I mean, it's record-setting good today in today's case, and you just aren't going to get that in other races, even like Diamond League. So, and especially with some American athlete, like she's going back to cross country. She's going to cross country preseason. She's late.
Think about like even to add on to what you're saying, Eric, like how different this is versus Diamond Leagues. Think about Doris Lemengel, who lived on in that absolute downpour was leading by like 15, 20 seconds compared to the rest of the field. She ended up running like 9-10-ish.
That's strong.
In the monsoon.
But she crushed the rest of the field, and that was her Diamond League debut. And so like that's not her first international experience, but that was her first Diamond League experience, was like, oh, I'm killing this field. And that's the cream of the crop of the world for like that league. Yeah. And then she shows up to world champs, and then she's buried
fifth.
Fifth.
I mean, Trudich and Yavi were not.
Yeah, not to say buried, but I mean, she's still like 12 seconds behind.
Yeah.
Which in 3,000
meters, 12 seconds is a lot of time. Yeah. I mean, you could say buried. Yeah. I mean, she's not buried in the results in terms of like fifth isn't buried, but 12 seconds is buried.
But buried compared to winning a Diamond League just weeks prior by
a whopping margin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the conditions played a major factor there.
But everyone was running in the rain. It's same thing here.
But not everyone showed up because Trudich and Yavi were not there.
True.
All right. So I think like when at USA's, I said something about like what would be good for this team making the final and then finishing better than last year's squad. Last year at the Paris Olympics, it was Courtney Wayman in 12th and Val Constein in 15th. And then today, it was Angelina Napoleon 9th and Kaylee Mitchell 10th. So they bettered that mark. And then in 14th was Lexi Holiday Lowry. Rough day for her. So yeah, that was the women's 3,000 meter steeplechase. And now I think wow, perfect timing.
Yeah, should we just get Anderson? Like, you want to
Anderson, come on in.
You want to rip through these 200s and
we're gonna rip through some 200s and actually, Eric, stay on for a sec. We're gonna touch on the men's 400 meter hurdles. Yeah. All right.
Totally forgot.
Mitch, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
I'll hop on.
See you, bud.
Women's 200 heats, no surprises.
No surprises through the women's 200 heats. You had all the Americans slid through. You had Anavia Battle,
the fastest time of the day.
Fastest time of the day. That was her. That's actually the second fastest time of her entire career. So she's clearly in like great form. The last time she made a team was the Tokyo Olympic Games. So literally at this track. So she's looking good. I'll just go through the Americans real quick. I mean, Brittany Brown also won her heat. She looked very comfortable. She was, famously chasing the Diamond League wild card, but then when Gabby pulled out, she was eventually safe, but she looked very, very comfortable, felt very good. Mackenzie Long also qualified through. So she was the product of Gabby actually, pulling out, and she was able to get a spot here.
Strong replacement.
I mean, good, like real good. You're talking about an Olympic finalist. And I spoke to her afterwards, and she was saying like, so she posted on Instagram.
She was going to take a break.
She was going to take a break. She was like mentally exhausted and like was ready to like everything was, ready to end things off. But like a day later, she got a call from her agent and is like, hey, you're running the 200. And so she jumped in. Like, you can't take
You
that.
won't pass on that.
Yeah. So Mackenzie's through, and then Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, of course, she is through very comfortably. And then, shout out to Sharika Jackson. She, of course, has had an up and down season. We saw her in the 100. She eventually got 4th place there. I think she looked very comfortable, and she's someone who we should definitely look out for when it comes to 200 when we're talking about the final. So
that was the women's 200 heats. Literally no one of note.
No one
eliminated. Men's 200 heats, similar thing. No heavy hitters eliminated here.
Yeah, this was pretty smooth.
Impressive performances. Brian Lavelle of Jamaica running 19.84, shutting it down. Even you were in the stands. Were like, he's looking good.
He looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, was that the fastest time of the men's 200 of the day?
By far. Like,
I mean, he shut it way down.
Yeah.
I mean,
was like OT.
It was so impressive. I said to Chris, I go, is that obliques avail?
Yeah. Yeah.
He goes, no. Well, he's gonna be a world champ, it looks like, possibly.
It's a different Jamaican.
Would be crazy for Jamaica to.
I mean, just looks so. I mean, he shut it down. It was kind of like reminiscent of Sydney in the 400, where it's like they ran so fast, shutting it down.
Yeah,
I was like, it was very, very impressive.
Just hand him the gold medal now. No, that'd be wild. I think the one thing to think about with Brian is like, how does he manage rounds? Because 19.8 in a heat is insanely fast. And like, sure, you're shutting it down, but I don't know. We just watched Corey Patterson in the 400.
Too fast.
Ran 43, and then he ends up as a time qualifier.
He ran too fast.
So that's something to think about. And he was at the Olympics last year, but he only made it to the repechage rounds and into the semis. But so that's something to look out for. We had all the Americans qualify through. Well, actually, I'm sorry. No, Robert Gregory didn't. He was the lone American who unfortunately didn't. His world championship debut unfortunately didn't go his way. But we did have Noah Lyles, Kenny B. I saw they had an interesting interaction.
Yeah. So Eric, tell the story about how we found out about this.
Are we? So I can say.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
us.
So we're sitting. Okay, we're sitting in the stands, right? And there is a guy next to us who is wearing a inflatable shrimp head.
This is a true story.
How does this get? I'm
no. I'm lying. Chris, like, it's not true. No, so we're sitting in the stands. There's a guy who's wearing a shrimp, huge shrimp head.
Can't miss.
And there's arguably, I would say there's maybe only one other there's no other people wearing shrimp heads in the stadium. On the shrimp head, he has his Instagram handle. And so I was like, how many followers does this guy have? Like, and Chris pulls up his Instagram and he goes to his story, and the great clip of Noah and Kenny on the stairs. Chris is showing me this. I go, wow, that's a fantastic shot you got. He goes, that's Shrimp Head. That's Shrimp Head's Instagram story. And then Chris, he just screen records it. And I go, well, that's
like, are we giving him credit?
That's copyright.
Yeah.
That's copyright.
It's on the guy's Instagram. Well, so
did you give him credit?
His handle is on it too. And so then I was like, Eric, let's get the people talking. Like,
It's actually such a good clip.
Yeah. So it's just Noah's going up the stairs. He waves at the shrimp costume because, like, why wouldn't you if you saw a man in a shrimp costume? And then Kenny Bednark is going down the stairs and then just gives Noah like a fist bump or high five.
Dapped him up, yeah.
He just dapped him up, and it's like for two guys who are just like in like so much just
drama, controversy
after the U.S. championships. I was like, oh, all right, like,
well, hold on. So shrimp head. It wasn't even a shrimp costume. It was just a giant head of a shrimp. Okay, but his Instagram. So I thought it'd be track related. His whole profile is just him and his family. He's got like 1,000 followers, and I was like, it's an interesting move to like advertise your Instagram when it's just like, you know, your kids, and it's just it was very funny to me. And then he's just putting out golden clips, behind the scenes track footage that Chavez is just ripping off and putting it on the official CITIUS page.
yeah. Like I'm going back on his page because I haven't viewed his story since.
But I mean, Kenny and Noah look chill.
They did.
I mean,
They look good. Yeah, I feel like I might be on there, right? I think Kenny, after they gave the fist bump, like Noah even like turned around. He was like,
Kenny said something. I'm like, I know. I believe. No, Noah was walking up. Kenny's walking down. Here, yep.
Yeah, Marco. He's passing Marco a rope. Yeah.
Marco says, Eric's kind of a shit talker, huh?
And
Kenny says something to Noah.
but like in a just like.
Well, I mean, they
a
dapped
good-
each. They
good
dapped
job or
up.
something
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
like it wasn't.
And then the rest of sushi or shrimp man's story is just like his night at the track, and like Eric and I might be in the videos because we're sitting right next to him.
Yeah, I'm like, it's like it cuts to me asking for a picture with shrimp head.
That's crazy.
But
Katie Moon is on his story.
But yeah, good shrimp head with some absolutely great footage.
Great
from the
footage,
200
good
meter,
journalism.
200 meter behind the scenes that a lot of people just aren't getting.
The funny thing is like Eric says like, how many followers do you think he has? And I say like 2,000, and I was close. He has 1,700 followers, and then we did rip the clip and we put it up.
Don't say we. Don't say we.
Okay.
Say you.
Yeah. So then, if you look at it now, like on our page on our Twitter, it's got 26,000 views. You think Shrimp Man knows that his video is like going viral? People are talking about it.
Did you tag him?
On Twitter, he didn't tag him. Or does he even have a Twitter? Maybe he doesn't. So
He has a Twitter. I'm like,
Well, so I captioned it. All appears to be good between Noah Lyles and Kenny Bednarik, and then there's other people just reading
yeah,
into the lines
so-
and be like,
but you didn't caption it with shrimp head.
no.
So then, no, he doesn't know.
He has no idea.
Yeah,
no,
He
yeah,
has no idea that he captured gold.
yeah.
people in the comments are kind of like they're like, nah, this ain't.
They're
like,
not good. They seem to be okay.
Yeah, cordial. This is called being cordial while being at work.
It is a cordial. I mean, I don't know what
The status of
the
things
Noah
is.
and Kenny thing is. I can't imagine it's that good after USA's, but I mean, it's not like it's certainly not on site.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
That interaction could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
And it would, but if Shrimp had got it and it was a lot worse, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I hope we see Shrimp Man again. We'll get a photo next time.
we'll get a photo next time.
All right. Women's 400 meter hurdles.
Yes.
No surprises.
No surprises. No surprises. Oh, the other thing, real quick, about just the 200. Shout out to Gout Gout. I mean, we just lost Mitch, but this was Gout Gout's World Championship debut.
Yes.
It
I
was-
mean, there's
did
nobody who's a
semis.
bigger Gout Gout fan than Mitch.
Yeah.
Loves the guy.
I think that
he's so dramatic in every picture. I love it.
He's
I love
in
it.
the moment, and like I think he knows that he's got this global appeal to him.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though he's not proven at the global stage, like
no,
I mean, this might just be us as Americans who see medalists competing regularly.
yeah, all the
that-
time.
It's like I haven't quite bought into the hype. Like
No.
the clips of him running against like
No.
because it's like
No.
all those clips of him like
No,
running crazy
no.
fast were up against like not that great competition, and so obviously it looks so much better.
Exactly. Literally, his last race before World Championships was like on a grass track against high school kids. Like he just hasn't.
Okay,
been,
so
It's because they're comparing him to Bolt. Right?
that's the thing. Yeah.
If nobody had mentioned Gout Gout against Bolt, it's because that, when Bolt was this age, Gout Gout is now faster. And it's just like, as soon as that happens, you start, the comparisons start. But if that never happened, you'd all just be just genuine fans.
The name helps. The fact that he's so dominant against low-level
competition. Yeah.
That helps. We saw the whole thing with Arian too. Like Arian,
very
Arian
similar.
ran faster than Bolt did at when
Whatever,
he
it was like 16, 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. As he was a kid.
And instantly those comparisons started. And so I think like with Gout Gout, he's got the name going for him, which is great.
Gout Gout. I mean, gout. You guys know the disease.
Yeah.
Not good. It's like you got. I mean, it's like catching like the Spike Lee terms of like a name, but
What's funny is
Usain Bolt is a name meant for track.
What's
Gout
funny is
Gout is a disease where you drink so much alcohol that you got no sensation in your big toe. It's not ideal for 100-meter dashes.
But think of this. That's actually not even how you pronounce his name. It's actually like Goat Goat or something like that. There's a different pronunciation, but he chose.
Well, then he
chose
needs new PR to absolutely hammer home it's Goat Goat.
It was
because now
and don't hold me to it. It's I'm not getting the pronunciation right.
Gout Gout.
It's
He said it's. I wish Mitch was here. He would set it straight on this whole thing. So.
He's listening right now. He's like, he wakes up. He's like, I'm so. You hear his footsteps down the hall.
He just starts running.
Yeah.
As soon as the Gout Gout name started taking off, that's what ran in the Australian media.
Mm-hmm.
Even like there's interviews with Gout Gout's father who says like that's not how you say his name.
Yeah.
And his father's father.
Yeah.
So we don't know. We still, even after
everything, I think Gout Gout just said, like you can call me Gout Gout.
Yeah, just like call me that because he was probably just like it's not worth it.
I gave you.
Yeah, his
I just did a whole press conference.
Yeah.
I actually think he did. Like he went out and like
That was the other thing. So it's like when Gout Gout, he's only ever done one podcast appearance, and it was on the
Beyond the Records with Noah and all them. Yeah,
and they're calling him Gout Gout to his face. Like I feel like he would have corrected him
exactly.
And I think they even ask about the pronunciation.
Yeah.
That's where the clip is.
It was like that was where he finalized. Like, listen, call me Gout Gout, and I'm good with it because. I mean, I figure he's just it rolls off the tongue a little bit better. It's like it's
but
easier to
also
say.
it's like now a lot of people know him, so it's just tough to do a hard pivot and say no, it's actually not Gout Gout. We're like, well,
it's the same thing with Mo Farah. Like Mo Farah, like post retirement, he's like actually like my name is like Hussein or something like that, and like
that's okay. Well, that's just okay. Well, that's different because. Yeah. Well, you could have, Do you know what I mean? Exactly.
I know
exactly. So, and that's what's a bit different with Goat Goat, which is how you should say. Which is because I was talking to his dad.
Call him Goat Goat?
No, not if he wants me to call him Gout Gout.
Yeah.
Look, I'm learning new stuff every single second in this last 20 minutes.
Did you know Mo's real name is Hussein?
I knew it was, but there was never a point in time where he was like, "Hey, look, don't call me Mo. It's the real name's Hussein."
Yeah. Well, all right. So the expectations, the expectations for Gout Gout.
Yeah.
I mean, huge media scrum. There's
It
such a big
crazy.
spotlight on him. I just don't get it, and it's like.
Listen, he is even in this heat, he didn't look amazing. Now, granted, he was running with Brian Lavelle, who ran 19.8, but it's like, I think people are expecting him to make the final and
potentially medal
to challenge Noah and all that.
Do you think he'll make the final?
I don't think so. I wouldn't be surprised if he does, but like, I just don't think so.
You wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah. Like, and even the whole thing with he went to the Monaco Diamond League and they created a separate race for him.
I thought that was the dumbest thing.
Yeah, it was literally a U23 race
just for him.
He
wouldn't race against Noah
and Letsile. And Letsile is under 23. Like so, but he didn't run Gout Gout.
Letsile is like, you mind? I do qualify for this heat. And they're like, no, no, you don't at all. It's kind of wild that like how much they've hyped up Gout Gout.
And I think it's part of that is like, okay, savoring this for now because like the potential could be there for him to be the star of the 2032 Olympics. Like that's what it's setting
That's
up
probably
for,
what it is.
right? He's exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
I guess Mac just said like he's like he's like their Quincy Wilson,
Yeah.
except for the fact that like
I don't know.
but the argument with Quincy is that Quincy proved himself against pros.
And not even just at USA's, like he ran at Milrose at like New Balance or I'm sorry, whatever, the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix or whatever. Like
he threw himself in the ring against the pros, and I feel like there's just been a conservation of Gout Gout's star power. Like it's just like, okay, we have this shine on him, but like let's not wear it off until the World Championships because we don't like at Monaco Diamond League, he probably could have finished third or fourth in that race.
Absolutely.
A little bit further distant. And then people have been like, okay, maybe our expectations for this guy aren't going to be as high for the World Championships, but we can milk this thing until Tokyo.
Yeah.
And then, from there, it's like, okay, yeah, his time will come in the near future. It's just not now. But let's drive the hype around him for as long as possible. That's the only reason I could see them, adding that U23 race.
Monaco.
Yeah, I mean, like it's rare that probably like I side with like Aaron Brown on things occasionally.
Yeah.
He was 100% right on like just the preposterous nature of Monaco having that race.
That was
just for him.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
And now tomorrow are the semifinals. He's gonna have to race Brian Lavelle again. So he just raced him. He's racing Letsile. He's gonna be in that race, and you have Courtney Lindsay. So now he has a real race.
And how many go through?
This heat's crazy.
Is top 2 in each heat. So now you're talking about Brian Lavelle just ran 19.8. Letsile just we know what Letsile does.
He's
the Olympic champion, and Courtney Lindsay, he's run 19.7. He's run 19.7 PBs, 19.8 this year. Like,
who else is in there? Is there anyone else who could knock him off?
He should switch heats. You can do that.
No, outside of that, those are the guys.
You guys heard about the 800? You can switch heats.
Yeah, they reshuffled
exactly. They should reshuffle Gout out of that heat.
I mean, they'll probably make a separate fourth heat for him.
U23
U23
of the world champion.
That would be fantastic.
Then it's like, me too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's like, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, I mean, if he makes the final, obviously that'd be huge. But like,
we will be eating crow. Yeah.
But like, people should not be surprised.
I'll eat a crow. I mean, shit, I've eaten crazy stuff over here. I'll eat a crow.
All right.
I'll eat crow sashimi.
All right.
Anyway.
Okay. 200. That's the men's 200.
That's
Women's 200 we covered already. All right. Women's 400 hurdles. We touched on.
Winning gold. We're good.
Delilah was because Delilah was in the heat.
I think that we're all rooting for Delilah, but it's like
today
we
like,
basically saw unfortunately what's gonna happen.
All right, men's 400 hurdle final. This is the one
people.
that like already the Instagram commenters are like, we need Eric's take on this.
Yes.
On what?
On what? Men's 400 hurdles. All the big dogs make it through.
Everybody makes it through.
And so then I get alerted to the fact that from Anderson, it was like, we got some interesting comments in the mix zone. And I was like, what is it? And so then he tells me that Rye was told, this is like a game of telephone at this point, that Carson Warholm was asked about Alison Dos Santos and Rye Benjamin's showdown and meeting them in the final again.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the clip pulled up. I'll play the audio because you kind of just have to hear. This is just a clip of Rye's response to what happened. So let me see if I could pull this together.
Yeah.
He was asked about between you and Alison. Yeah. And then he said, we'll see. Flashing dick measuring contest. They managed to behave themselves. Yeah.
He said that for real?
Yeah.
He tried to bait me, huh?
No,
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm black, so we already know how it goes. In the big measuring contest.
Okay, so to recap, I guess if it wasn't clear on the audio that came through, Carson says, we'll see if it turns into a good old-fashioned dick measuring contest. And then Rye responds by saying, well, I'm black, so we already know how that one goes in a dick measuring contest.
So Rye's like, I got a big fucking dick.
All right.
Wait,
If
so
you're
Carson-
tuning in,
Carson-
listening with kids in the car, this is the part where you
Carson
check out.
said, if we'll see if they want to turn it into a dick measuring contest and if they behave.
Yeah, I don't get the last part.
So what does he mean? What does he mean by do they want to turn it into a dick
So I guess the more interesting part of this is, will they behave?
Yeah, that was like the one piece that's.
What if they don't?
Well, no, I mean, what does he mean by we'll see if they want to turn it into a dick measuring Let's even take out the if they behave part. What is the what does
isn't
everything is a dick measuring contest in this stuff where it's like we're just like what does he mean by it?
We're trying to see who can run the fastest, right?
Yeah, exactly. I guess we're not trying to see who's got the biggest penis. We're trying to see who can get over the hurdles the fastest. I guess I'm just
what?
Oh, Chris Robinson.
Yeah, Chris Robinson would have been a very interesting. He would have been interesting in this conversation.
This is where Chris Robinson's like he just slid up right next to Rai Benjamin, and he's like, you know, I'm black too. Come on.
I think Carson actually waited until Chris was eliminated because he knew what Chris was packing.
Yeah, well, he knows, yeah.
And so he was like, all right, that guy's gone. Now I can actually.
He goes, well, I know what that guy's working with firsthand. So, like, I want no part in that guy's penis, but I'm down to at least roll the dice with the others. First off, so funny that Ryan said, well, I'm black, so you already know how that's going to work. Yeah. They go like the look on the faces of the interviewers when Ryan was like, well, I'm black. And they're like, oh my God.
I'll be honest. I was the only black guy there.
Yeah.
And I was.
You dap him up so hard. You're like, yup. You're like, yep, I know. First off, this race is so like the Rye Benjamin Carson. I'm like, we'll bring in Allison too, but it's like that was so good without even bringing up their like a battle of how big their penises are. It was already like one of the best races of me, and now it's like, how big's your cock? So good. What really needs to happen is now Allison's got to enter the mix and say like, I'm here. I'm like, look, Carson's white. I'm ready to let the thing dangle. I'm having too much fun with this whole question.
I guess the question now is: does everyone just split shorts?
Oh yeah, I was saying, I'm like, yes, no, of course they will at some point need to show their penises.
I mean, the comment section on this thing is just
of course. I mean, of course, it's so funny.
Going to be a hard race. We'll see who comes out ahead.
Yeah.
Let's see what else people have said. Which one of them will rise to the occasion? What else? People are saying it's good for the sport.
It's so fun. I mean, it's so funny.
They're gonna go balls out in the final.
Good on. I love Rye. Just having like a sense of humor about it. Like, I mean, it's all.
Yeah, Rye commented. He said, "Pause."
Yeah, no, it's funny. Like it's. They're so like experience. Like they know each other so well. Race each other all the time. I love like just the adding a new mix to it. Like having fun in the media zone. This is when I'm like, God, I wish I was in the content creator zone for this. I'm like, fuck, I would have eaten this up. No, I'm like, yo.
You would have what?
What? Yo, hold on. Yo, I would have gobbled this shit up. But yeah, this is so funny.
So someone said, now Rye better win after all this.
I mean, it's gonna be tough. Well, he's also got a big ass dick to drag around the track. Carson doesn't have that. He's
All right.
hauling luggage around.
All right.
All right. Okay. Well, you could have sent me home to bed, Chris, but you purposely said Eric would like this.
I knew that was coming. All right.
All right. Well,
That does it.
I bet
What
they'll
if-
be getting, and I bet they're gonna tomorrow. There's gonna be some reviews.
yeah.
Max got the bad mouth.
Yeah, I know. It's like Eric had very astute points when it comes to the men's 400 hurdles. I'm like, yeah, totally. Like Mac was really rude.
he said the F word
He
once.
said the F word once. And he insinuated Carson had a smaller penis than Ry Benjamin. Anyway, great night for track and field.
Sure was. And if you want to share your support for CITIUS and help us recover from any 1-star ratings that we may get as a consequence of this episode, then leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and let us know who you think would win the battle of inches between Ry Benjamin and Carson Warholm. It's gonna be a tight one. All right, that does it. Stay tuned for more from all things CITIUS Mag, newsletters, podcasts. We're hitting you wall-to-wall coverage all throughout the week. Presented by A6 Group Run coming up in just 2 days. Gonna get some. I can't get any miles on these things, but you can, Eric.
Me and Matt can. Anderson's
Anderson's
training.
doing a lot of
Anderson's putting in a lot of miles.
Are you running these yet?
I haven't yet.
Well,
He'll be
That's
there
gonna
right for
be
you.
that's gonna be this on
Group
the
run
19th.
the 19th.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. Good night, everyone. Good morning, wherever you are in the States. And I love track and field. We'll see you tomorrow.